On October 28, 1955, a boy named Bill Gates was born in the United States of America, while a girl who is now an inspiration to all youngsters and especially women was born in Chennai, India. And after pursuing a long career path at the age of 51, in 2006, she became the CEO of PepsiCo. She was the first woman of color and first immigrant to head a Fortune 50 company. She is widely considered to be one of the top CEOs in the world for her leadership of the global giant PepsiCo for 12 years. Yes, she is none other than Indra Nooyi. She is consistently ranked among the world's 100 most powerful women on the Forbes list. As a CEO, Indra was very successful. During her tenure of 12 years, the company's sales grew 80%. The point is that the average CEO tenure at large companies is only 5 years. That means Nooyi had this crown 7 years longer than average. In this video, we're not going to talk about the success story of Indra, but something more important than that. 4 tips that she personally followed that made her successful, and now it's our time to learn and carve our own success stories. Firstly, before starting, let me take you through a real story of Indra. She had 2 daughters. The first one was 8 or 9 years old when she came to Mexico. The second one was 9 months old when she joined PepsiCo. But at that time, around 1994 to 2000, the company was in the middle of a large-scale transformation. So basically, Indra was working 24/7. Then you will be thinking, who took care of those 2 kids? At that time, Nooyi made a decision which probably most of you would not dare to make. She spoke out her demand to the higher authorities, and here were some of her terms and conditions. At 5 p.m., her kids will be allowed to come to the office. They will be allowed to play, they will be allowed to sleep in the office and do whatever they like. And she will make sure that she delivers the best results. This demand was made way before she became CEO. She was just the head of corporate strategy by then. So, what was the result? The authority was okay with the kids in the office? Was she worried about being fired because of that? Let's see what answer Nooyi had for this. She said, "That's the price of having me at PepsiCo, because if I couldn't go home and take care of the kids, my office has to be the home for them. Look, if you want me here, that's the price you have to pay for having me." By this story, you must have realized the logic is simple. You need to prove yourself how important you are. Your competence is a reflection of who you are. And after that, your job is over. Let the other side decide what they can do with or without you. If that is the case, speak out yourself loud, just like what Nooyi did. And it worked. From Indra's career path, we can feel that to reach that position and to stay there, it was not easy at all. There were lots of trade-offs and lots of sacrifices and lots of collateral damage. To get through these difficulties, one needs the strength to power through all of that. Can one have it all? That's the big question. According to Nooyi, if you have the right support system, if you have an understanding spouse, if you want to be married, and if you're willing to make all the trade-offs that you need to make, you can have it all. But one has to be aware. While we do all that, there will be heartache, there will be pain, there will be some collateral damage underneath the surface, and we all have to live with it. Just like the strength somehow comes from weakness. Nooyi once said in a public speech, "If you ask my daughters if I've been a good mom, I'm not sure they will say yes. I'm not sure." The work in PepsiCo took too much time from Indra. The sacrifice of family is the price she has to pay. Do you think she has been living in guilt all the time? Obviously not, because she tried all kinds of coping mechanisms. There is an interesting story that happened when her daughter went to the Catholic school convent of Sacred Heart. Every Wednesday morning, the kids would have class coffee with mothers. But class coffee for working mothers? How's that gonna work? How could she take off time at 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning to go to a class coffee? No surprise, she missed approximately all class coffees. Her daughter would come home and give her a list of all the mothers that they were there and emphasize that she was the only one who was not present there. The first few times, Nooyi felt that she would die with guilt, but she developed coping mechanisms. She called the school and asked for a list of mothers who were not there. So, at the night when her daughter complained about her absence, she would tell her daughter that Mrs. Rag wasn't there, Mrs. So and so wasn't there. So, I'm not the only bad mother. When you encounter tough situations and have no way out, then you have to cope with the situation, otherwise, you will die with guilt. It is important that when you make a point in a meeting, make it with confidence. Nooyi learned that from watching the men. She found out that, on the one hand, when men don't even have much to say, but whatever they say it with great confidence. On the other hand, women will make a great point. They will say softer and almost sort of shrink in the background. So what she suggested is, sit up, sit at the table and speak with confidence. That's half the battle won. So you really need to view yourself from the inside as an equal, then the whole discussion gets easier. Let me quote the words from Nooyi to end this video. There's one thing we can do for each other. If you find somebody becoming a shrinking violet, tell them you've got better points than anybody else. Go participate.